Hi, all. Everyone should be watching this morning before you start your crime report to get a sense of what I expect out of this assignment. And so you'll notice that I have the actual rubric that I'm using to score it, and that is going to be linked to your Google Classroom so you can see it, but I'm actually presenting from this because all I've done is I've taken the rubric and put it into a Google slide presentation. So all of you are going to use this Google slide presentation to create your crime report. And so this is being scored for standard 21, and that is heavily weighted with our 9 weeks, and it's also being your first quality of work score for your for your fourth 9 weeks. So let's get to the first thing that you're going to do. The first thing that you're going to do here is you're going to be typing a paragraph description of the crime. So when I say a paragraph, you can't just say a sentence. There was a drought in California. You need to tell more than that. Do you guys and girls remember that video that we watched the day before we started, this digital experience? There were kids doing snow angels in the parking lot. There were people driving 20 hours to work in Seattle. Like, you need to tell me more than that. And when I say where, I don't just mean say California. Look at a California drought map from 2015 and tell me which places were hardest hit. Okay, so this needs to be a good full paragraph showing me you understand exactly what was happening with the crime. Now, and to do this, by the way, you will just take that off, type right in there. Now, one question that always comes up is, do I need to do anything fancy with the background? And the answer is no, you don't have to. When I score quality of work, I'm looking for, did you follow the rubric and meet the requirements? When I said a paragraph, did I get a good paragraph? Were you using proper grammar and punctuation? Does it seem to be your best work? If you want to do cute backgrounds, you can, but you don't have to. Okay, so now you've described the crime. And now, just like a real crime, they take photos of the crime scene. So you're going to have to put in here 2 crime scene photos. Now, when I say crime scene photos, remember the crime is a drought. And so you'll put a picture here that you can get on Google Images and then a clear explanation, a sentence or two of what this picture is. Now, when I say a crime scene picture, keep in mind that could actually be a map. It doesn't have to be a map, but it might be, just so you're explaining it. Okay, so here's what we've got so far. Describing the crime in detail. Now a picture, another picture of the crime with an explanation. Now it is time for your arrest warrant. You are going to do a sentence description telling us who you decided to arrest. So you'll say, I decided to arrest snowpack as my prime suspect, or La Nina, or global warming, or human demands. You don't have to tell why right here. It's just one sentence. Who's your prime suspect with a picture of it. Now, again, that picture might be a map or a graph, but it doesn't have to be. It could be an actual photo. Okay, now here comes the part that will not be as hard as it sounds because you did this work yesterday. So you are going to be doing on the next 3 slides the evidence against the prime suspect. Now, that's going to be easy if you have up today your assignment from yesterday, your preparation assignment. So let's say that you pick snowpack as the prime suspect. Your 3 pieces of evidence would be Exhibit A, then Exhibit B, then Exhibit C. If you pick La Nina as your prime suspect, your pieces of evidence are going to be Exhibits D, E, and F, and so on. Now, here you're just going to write the letter, but notice what you have to do, a clear explanation of how this exhibit shows guilt. So that's taking your ideas from the key concepts and maybe expanding on them a little bit. I need to see that you really understand what that exhibit showed and how it connects to the guilt of the prime suspect, okay? So the 3 exhibits about the prime suspect. Now you've already made this decision yesterday. Who is going to be your accomplice? You're going to type one sentence right here. My accomplice is, and then you're going to put in the name of that accomplice. Now, remember I've said there's only one correct prime suspect. You have to get that right. There's only one true cause of the drought. But I think you could make a case that any of the other 3 suspects were helpful in making the drought worse. So here you can pick any of the other 3, then put a picture in there. Again, the picture could be a photograph, but it doesn't have to. It could be a diagram or a map. Now, you remember how I had you do 3 pieces of evidence against the prime suspect? For the accomplice, I'm only going to have you do 2 pieces of evidence. Okay, and then you'll use 2 of the 3 exhibits against that suspect and clearly explain how it shows guilt. So that's your crime report that is due Friday at 3, tomorrow at 3. And my students, I am happy to help you. So if you call or if you want, it's been really effective actually to do one-on-one Zooms. If you want me to do that with you, I can. Also keep in mind though that this is going to be revisable. I hope you don't need to, but if you don't get a 4 on it right away, we can fix it up next week too. Okay, so best wishes to you in your detective work. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys decide.